Retail investors are starting to turn away from the Mag 7, at least the tech names, according to Robinhood. And the last week, they've been seeing the most buying opportunity in the non-Mag 7 names that dropped after earnings. Despite posting solid results, the Mag 7 is nearly flat in that time frame. When it comes to selling, NVIDIA continues to be the top sale. That was our mystery chart from earlier. For more, let's bring in Steve Quirk. He's Robinhood's chief brokerage officer. Welcome, by the way. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
So,
happy to be here in person. Thanks.
We've been talking a lot about, this is my favorite line to harp on, retail being the smart money here.
We agree.
So I like to flatter them, but I go back to early April. They were buying the deep sell-off we had then. We've talked about this. Now they're selling NVIDIA to a large extent, and what does that tell you?
It tells me that their willingness to step in and purchase it when it was trading at much lower levels, they've been rewarded, and so they're doing what we have been, what you have been talking about. They're actually portfolio managers. They're taking their portfolio, and when they see significant gains in a name in a short period of time, they're rotating out of some of that and moving into some of the other names that have been depressed, like Salesforce, Okta, some of the other ones that haven't done as well.
You may not have this data, but when they're selling, who do you think is buying?
You never know.
Right.
It's institutions, could be other retail.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that I talked about the last time I was on, which is really fascinating, is in times of extreme volatility, we saw the VIX almost at 60%. We see customers move from individual names to broad-based ETFs. And the thesis is they have more conviction that the market is going to rebound than they do any individual name. And so we went from, normally let's call it 80% of the trading is done in individual names, 20% in ETFs. It went from 80-20 to 60-40. In April and in the periods we were talking about with the tariff uncertainty. Now it's back to 80-20.
And so what else are they? You said they're buying names like Salesforce and who else as
Okta, Marvel, things whenever there's a sector that's doing well, there's a couple sectors that aren't, and they just rotate. They just have a rotation, and they have a core portfolio, but they rotate in a small portion of that portfolio and are reactive to whatever's happening.
Do you have data on crypto as well?
We do have data on crypto, yeah.
What are you seeing there?
Obviously it's so price driven. As soon as you get over 100K, it's just really like people just get so enthusiastic. But I would say we have something called reoccurring investments, which means I put $100 in the market every week, month, day, whatever it is.
Dollar cost averaging.
Dollar cost averaging, which is amazing. The number one instrument that has been bought for almost 5 years is Bitcoin.
Wow.
Yeah.
So people just want steadily to buy. Now, do you think that reflects the typical age? I mean, whatever it reflects, it tells you that there's a consistent source of demand there, and it's not just something people are doing because it's opportunistic or they had extra cash or
they just
it's
have
like conviction.
Yeah. They just have conviction. An average age of our customers is 30.
Okay.
Just over 30, and half of them first-time brokerage customers. So it's amazing to see their conviction.